Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it is time for part 2 of the Monday Q&A, so let's get to it. How strong is placebo effect? In terms of supplements, gear, or just in general? Well, in terms of supplements, I will say that if the placebo effect didn't exist, the supplement industry would have gone bankrupt decades ago. 95% of the progress that people make off supplements is in their head. It's placebo. I have no doubts of this in my mind. Now, how strong can it be? Well, I've known quite a few medical doctors in my life who have noted that placebo effect is literally the difference between a person getting cured of cancer or not, or a person living or dying. Placebo effect is very, very powerful in our species. How does it affect with drugs? Well, I have seen kids who made pretty decent gains on their first cycle of steroids, who had problems with roid rage, they had problems with aggression, they had problems keeping their cool when they were on these drugs. They made really good gains, the best gains of their life. They came in, they got a lot stronger, they were more aggressive in their training, focused, and made really good gains on that first cycle. And it turned out they were on fake gear, and in fact I had one group of guys who were all using this fake gear, and they were asking me about it because they were saying, oh, we're making these great gains, and one of the guys got really bad acne, and they told me what brand they were using, and I knew at the time that pretty much that was a widely faked brand, and I asked to see their bottles, and when I told them the truth that they were just injecting cottonseed oil, and that the brand at the time they were using, that was clearly a faked one, because I looked at the label and I was up to speed on that. And so these guys were using fake gear, and then two of them lost all of their strength. And they were all using stuff from the same batch, and their workouts went to crap. And then the third guy still kept using it, and he kept having issues with acne and roid rage, but he kept making really, really good gains. While the other two, once they realized that it was purely placebo effect and that it was fake, and they believed me, they stopped making all their gains off of it. But I guess the other guy didn't actually believe me that it was fake because he was making such good progress that in his mind it couldn't be fake. So even though he was still injecting the fake gear, he continued to get the gains and he continued to get the side effects. So that is how strong placebo is. All right, next question. Why are white potatoes so filling when they aren't fiber rich like many other vegetables? That's a great question, and the answer is we don't know. Even though regular plain old baked or boiled potatoes have shown to be one of the highest satiation foods, calorie for calorie, in quite a few studies at this point, they don't actually meet a pattern that other foods fall into. As you said, there are foods that have a much higher water content, have a much higher fiber content, much higher protein contents, all the things we look for satiation, that can't compete with the potato. And we don't actually have a full explanation, which means that we don't fully understand human appetite, and we don't fully understand satiation factors in foods. We only have a partial understanding of it, and the potato is one of the things that proves that. So we don't actually know. All right, last question in part 2. During a cut, if you have a deload week, do you recommend doing as much cardio as usual or cut the volume of cardio by 50% like for the weight training? Also, can you do high intensity interval training during a deload week? Well, to answer the last question, I'll answer that one first. No, I would never do HIIT during a deload week. Are you crazy? That defeats the whole purpose of deloading. Now, as far as the other stuff goes, you shouldn't be deloading on a cut. And what I mean is, if you have to deload on a cut, something went wrong with your training. You probably need to fire your contest prep coach if they are making you push to a point to where you are needing deloads because you are chronically overreaching during a cut. Again, you need to reassess who you have hired, or they need to reassess what the hell they're doing with you. Now, if you do find yourself in a situation to where you need to deload during a cut, you end your cut. You go back on your cut after the deload is over, but you are not going to recover properly. You're not getting the benefits of the overreaching, underreaching model or the benefits of the deload if you aren't eating at a minimum maintenance calories. So if you have to deload on a cut, end the cut for that week. Go back to your maintenance calories, even go back to a very small surplus, and then continue your cut after. If you're doing it during contest prep, that will mess up contest prep because you've lost a whole week of your dieting. But if you're not in contest prep, a week doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You're just trying to get to an end goal leanness. So who cares if you've lost a week? So you shouldn't need to deload during a cut, but if you do, in the cut for your deload week and go back to your maintenance calories so that you can actually recover correctly, and for God's sake, don't do any HIIT. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time.